Come on. Yeah, get it. 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 Get it. Come on. Yeah, move out the way. 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 Yeah, yeah. What you got? Yeah, what you got? Yeah, what you got? Yeah, what you got?
It'll all be predicated upon how well Terrence can take his punch. Yeah. And what I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford. Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time, finally getting the opportunity, and really ready to grab the opportunity. And with Canelo, I see a guy who...
Famed Hall of Famer Roy Jones Jr. has finally agreed to help Crawford get ready. Jones knows how hard it is and has made it clear to Crawford what he wants from him. Not movement, but pressure. Jones has said that he is not obsessed with his weight, do media pranks, or make ceremonial jabs at reporters in news conferences. His only concern is with both fighters' skill, speed, hunger, and way of thinking.
In your view, Terrence Crawford beats Canelo.
He cooked Canelo.
Woo! Really?
He beats him. Yes.
Look, if you go back and you watch the fight with Lara, and you can see the same tendencies that Canelo has now, but he's a lot older now. But I just think that Terrence have more skills than a Lara, and I think he can do more. And you're saying that, oh, Canelo is a super strong guy. Man, technique, you already know. If you ever wrestled before, the person that got better technique usually win. It don't matter how much the weight they have or what they're carrying around. It's the technique. Crawford knows how to take care of himself.
I don't pay attention to the pushing and shoving, Roy told Fight Hub TV. I pay no attention to my weight. There is a level of skill that both guys, in and out of the ring, that I pay attention to. That is the focus he is bringing to camp. Get rid of the nose, concentrate on what wins fights. He went into greater detail about Crawford's current mindset and why he thinks this is the most dangerous version of him. It's clear that Crawford is hungry. Crawford has been looking forward to this chance for a long time. Finally, a chance has presented itself, and I am eager to seize it. Jones thinks that hunger has the potential to be a tremendous equalizer. Crawford has long wanted the type of mega fight that defines a generation. Now he has it, and there is no question about his readiness. He's in shape. He's sparring bigger guys with an intensity Roy described as incredible.
Canelo, done deal. Looks like the fight is signed. What's your thoughts on this fight, man?
Man, it's a great fight for boxing. I know people don't agree with it, but if Canelo fights one inkling of the wrong fight, he's gonna lose. If he comes out and fights the right fight, it's gonna be a tough one. So right now, I think it go be either way, but it depends on what type of fight Canelo fights.
You've been a guy that moves in weight class. How do you think Terrence Crawford should handle the weight? Should he come in lighter? Should he come right around the weight limit?
Come in as big as he can get. He get to the weight limit, because there is a weight limit, get to the weight limit.
Jones also shared what he sees in Canelo. He had a lot of respect for him, yet his comments had a different tone. I see Canelo as a man who isn't necessarily hungry, but likes entertaining us and putting on big fights. Always tries to get us into big conflicts and finds a way to do so. He may not always win, but he always makes an effort to do so for us. If he comes up and does the exact same thing in the ring, he can win the fight. He did not say Canelo could or would win. He stated that if Canelo does the right thing, he can win. It is the tiny difference between a guy pursuing something and a man conserving something.
He's still favoring Crawford in the fight, or has your opinion changed?
I mean, I've always favoured Canelo in the fight.
Well, I've heard that you want Canelo to win, but you feel...
Of course, yeah. I like Terrence. But I've worked a lot with Canelo, and I think just because of what I saw in Riyadh and because of the threat, and he's getting on as well, Crawford, but it's just like the mindset of Crawford. Like, there's no doubt in Terrence Crawford's mind that he wins this fight. And when you spend a bit of time with him, you can't...
According to Jones, the deciding factor will be Crawford's ability to absorb rather than his strength or skill. It will all rest on Terrence's ability to take his punch. When you're as skilled as Terrence Crawford, weight doesn't matter much. The only thing that counts in weight is your ability to take a blow. That has become the basic theme of this matchup. Can Crawford, who has never fought at 168 pounds, take a flush shot from Canelo Alvarez?
Crawford, does he have an opportunity to beat Canelo?
I think if anybody has a chance to beat Canelo, I think it's Terrence Crawford. His IQ is on another level. He's a great fighter and he's strong. It's just that it's a lot of weight. I wouldn't be surprised if Terrence Crawford wins. Wouldn't be surprised if he loses. Terrence Crawford, when he went up against the best opposition, like Errol Spence, he showed what level he's on, what type of dog he is. So I don't know. You really have to let these fights play out to see what happens. He might get hurt. That might activate him to come back strong.
Could you still make 68?
I don't want to make 68.
No, I know you don't. Terrence wins 68.
Yeah, well, if that's, yeah, I can make one.
The same comment was made by Keone Davis, one of the few boxers who has fought both men. Davis sparred with Crawford in preparation for the Sean Porter fight and has trained with Canelo in past camps. He didn't need to guess or anticipate how the two might fit together. He felt both. I've struggled with both. I prepared Crawford for his fight with Porter. I spent a few weeks with him, Davis told YSM Sports Media. He went on to say, "What are my thoughts on that fight? Everyone knows Crawford has the talent, but I think Canelo is a little too big for Crawford, making it a difficult assignment for him to win. It will be tough to win based solely on size. Size does not always win fights, but you have a guy who is both big and skilled. It will be hard. Nothing is impossible. If I had to bet on who would win the fight, I'd go with Canelo Alvarez, even though Terrence Crawford is a great fighter."
Who has the better skills? You feel me? Who has more power? Who has more endurance? These are the things that we gotta take into consideration. These are the things that we have to know. Now, I'm thinking, Bud is on another level when we're talking about skill set. Now, we know Canelo is kind of slow.
Davis's comments captured a sentiment that many in the boxing world share, but do not always voice as bluntly. This is not about Crawford being out of his place. It is a question of whether his physique can survive the premeditated assault of a fighter who has decimated natural super middleweights. Davis added, "They're both excellent boxers. You have two great fighters in there, but one of them has an advantage because of his makeup, body type, and size, and I think that will be the deciding factor in that fight." Canelo's last fight was stressful. His opponent, William Skull, put survival above combat. He danced, circled, poked, and then disconnected. Canelo chased. There was no fighting. There was no fighting. It was a professional tag with gloves on.
How would you like this fight to end? I need it play by play. How would you like this fight to end? And after your answers, I need you to answer. How would you like this fight to end?
Well, I won't say like to. It will end with my hand rose, making history.
I like that answer, but talk some shit, bud.
Listen.
Eddie Renoso, Canelo's longtime trainer, is sure that Crawford would not do the same. Renoso told Boxing Scene, "Crawford is one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. Of course he has a plan. We're going to train hard because we know the type of fighter he is, and we're going to beat him." He did not mince words when making a prediction. "We are going to knock him out. Not an issue, I promise." That's the message from Canelo. They like Crawford's skill. They appreciate his pedigree, but they perceive a smaller man entering the lion's lair, and they plan to treat him accordingly. Canelo Alvarez has 39 career knockouts. He hasn't stopped an opponent since Caleb Plant in 2021, yet his potency hasn't lessened. He still breaks ribs with body blows and knocks fighters out with left hooks. He just hasn't had the right target lately.
Is the biggest fight of the decade. I mean, to a purist and a fighter, it's laughable. Because you have Crawford jumping up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo, who's a natural light heavyweight. Crawford, who couldn't push back Madrimov. Life and death with Madrimov. What do you think Canelo's gonna do to him? Run him out of the ring!
Crawford, on the other hand, has looked virtually unbeatable. His final showing against Errol Spence was clinical and brutal. Spence controlled from start to end, but he is not Canelo. The hits will be heavier, the body mass behind them will change. That's why the entire conflict appears to revolve around one point. Crawford's ability to land or frustrate is less important than his ability to withstand the exchanges long enough to build a lead or force his own stoppage. Meanwhile, Canelo is discussing retirement more freely than ever before. He revealed to the media that he plans to retire at the age of 37. He's 34 now. This gives him around 3 years left in the sport. This level of clarity is unusual in a career where fighters rarely leave early. He says he continues to fight just for the love of boxing, he has money, he has a memory, he has the awards. The only thing left is delight.
And what'd you think of Canelo over the weekend? Did that look like the same type of Canelo you fought a few years ago? And yeah, what'd you think of that?
No, I don't think it's the same Canelo. Not quite, but also I kind of figured it was going to be like that, honestly. You know, I heard Canelo say in the interview, like, I don't really like fighting guys who move around that much like that. And William Skull being a Cuban fighter, like, I knew he was going to do that. And so was curious to see, you know, how Canelo would handle that. And, you know, he kept the ring off well, but that guy just, I felt like he didn't really want no part. And
however, when working with someone like Crawford, delight is not always sufficient motivation. When a man is still trying to prove something or reach the top, he often exudes a different type of energy. It is silent and obsessive. Canelo has already beaten fighters such as Gennady Golovkin, Sergey Kovalev, Miguel Cotto, and Daniel Jacobs. He's sold out venues and ruled pay-per-view. Crawford is only now getting this type of platform. There is a theory in boxing that when you start talking about retirement, your mind is no longer preoccupied with violence, your instincts soften. Your response time slows, your energy flutters. No one is saying Canelo is fading, but for Crawford, this could mean that the edge he needs is already forming. Crawford will not enter to live, he will eventually rule. He will not throw half-speed punches. He will take risks since it is the only way to win in this type of conflict.
Crawford, Canelo, who you got? Crawford, Canelo? I still say Canelo.
I got Canelo too.
I still say Canelo. Ring IQ, I believe that Crawford has a bit more.
Yeah.
However, it's just the size difference. I think that where Crawford is lacking is that he should try to test the waters even with somebody at that weight class before facing Canelo. But hey, they say he's a dog, he's got shot in the head and drove to the hospital, so maybe that's just his mentality.
Hey, let's see. Only one way to find out. Does that day come?
Manny Pacquiao did not need to choose a side. He didn't need to retaliate or stir up debate. His comments were calm, grounded, and based on the experience of someone who has fought alongside Floyd Mayweather and generations of world-class boxers. So, when Canelo Alvarez stood on the podium and stated, "I think Crawford is a little better than Mayweather," the boxing world turned its head.
That's not easy for Crawford. I mean, it's Canelo has the big advantage, but Crawford needs to manage well his body, his speed, and his power, because he's moving up to another level of weight.
I asked this because you did it with Margarito. You went to 54, and people were like, "Oh my God, this guy's so big, Margarito!" But your speed made the difference in that fight. Well, what advice would you give a smaller guy like Crawford to fight someone like Canelo, who's a lot bigger and stronger?
It was not a bold remark, but it was loaded. Pacquiao knew it. Canelo was fully aware of this. Everybody did. Canelo was not trying to offend Mayweather. In fact, he finished the sentence by reminding the press that he now had more experience than both of them. But he knew exactly what he was doing by putting Crawford ahead of Floyd. It wasn't merely praise. It was a mental seed planted just months before the most important fight of the year.
The others say, like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, you know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he's still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour.
Pacquiao answered carefully. He did not criticize Canelo, but he did warn everyone that Crawford and Mayweather are not interchangeable. It's a particular style, you understand. I mean, they're both great fighters, so it's tough to compare yourself to them. Pacquiao addressed professional fighting fans. That single line summed everything. Crawford isn't Floyd. Floyd was evasive, intellectual, and afraid of danger. Crawford, on the other hand, is willing to embrace chaos when appropriate. He changes his stance, he brawls, he gradually breaks you down, not simply by slipping hits, but also by throwing sharper ones. Pacquiao has never been a loudmouth in the media. However, His subtle differentiation between styles was a nice way of saying, "Let us not get carried away." However, this did not stop the flood of similarities. Roberto Durand, another all-time great, made his own choice. Durand is no stranger to high-risk hobbies. His famous career included fights against Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler. He knows what it takes to win as the smaller man. When asked about Crawford's chances versus Canelo, Durand gets right to the heart of the method. "It's a tough fight, but it depends on how he comes in." He told Fight Hub TV that he needed to box and fight. Keep confusing Canelo. When Canelo expects a fight, he will brawl first and then box. When he expects you to fight, box him next. Keep him confused, and you'll win the fight. That is hardly advice from a suit-wearing coach. That is the prescription of a man who has made a career out of violence and unpredictability. Durand did not romanticize the game. He noticed the size discrepancy, but he also saw an opportunity. Mental chaos. Crawford has the ability to win if he can make the bout a guessing game. But if he tries to be flowey, he fails.
What do you think of Crawford Canelo? There's a lot of talk about that.
I think Canelo wipes the floor with him. I love Crawford. I told you when Crawford and Spence that Crawford would beat the hell out of him, but Canelo is a different proposition. It's an interesting fight, but I think there's only one winner. What fight would make the most?
Tyson Fury, speaking from Istanbul, offered possibly the most practical perspective. "It's an amazing fight," he said. Then he broke it down in typical Fury fashion, clearly, simply, and without fluff. At 168, I'd say Canelo. At 140, I would say Crawford. So, I'm going with Canelo. That was it. No theatrics or profound references. Fury's opinion mirrored what the vast majority of boxers have been saying since the match was announced. Crawford is a genius, but 168 pounds is a far cry from 140. Size counts, not always, but when paired with skill, power, and composure, it can be the difference maker. Crawford didn't seem to be worried about any of this. He attacked the first fight with intent. His forehead smashed against Canelo's eyes, unblinking. His jaw tightened. He was not playing. He wasn't bragging. He meant to send a message. Canelo answered quickly, shoving Crawford away and stepping back with the same disrespect he used to show Caleb Plant and Billy Joe Saunders before shredding them. The press meeting did not require fireworks. The Shortshov said everything. Crawford was not here to pay his respects. He was there to get something. Canelo was not here to amuse Crawford. He was here to harm him. This is a once-in-a-lifetime fight, UFC President Dana White stated. And for once, the term did not come across as marketing bluster. White promised there would be no split broadcasts, no scheduling problems, and big six-figure performance bonuses, especially for knockouts. This is not normal boxing conduct, that is crossing spectacle behavior. Add in Max Kellerman's return to analysis, and you get a sense of how tectonic this event is. Who is the world's top pound-for-pound boxer? Crawford. Who was the best pound-for-pound boxer prior to Crawford? Canelo. Kellerman stated, "These are the last two pound-for-pound fighters, and they will meet in Las Vegas. This will be the most watched prize fight in 50 years. Whether or not that forecast proves right, the sentiment is shared throughout boxing circles. This is not just a title fight. This is the type of fight that will be discussed long after both guys have stopped."
Fight build up. Is there a battle before the battle in the ring? Is there anything to that?
No, I think it's a little bit of maybe a bit of showmanship. They're trying to sell the fight. Because at the same time, there was a photo of them all having dinner together, which I found a bit strange, you know, like they're going from dinner to a nice...
This brings us back to Crawford himself. In appearances, he has not softened his tone. He has not displayed humility or diplomacy. He has kept the same hard edge since the fight was announced. "I'm looking for all he has, and I want to take it on September 13th, he stated. The words do not sound hollow. Crawford has always fought with a chip on his shoulder, and now that he is on the verge of becoming the first three-division undisputed champion, his drive has grown even stronger. I respect Canelo, but when the time comes, it's time to get to work."
Bud gonna cook Canelo. I think he's gonna cook him. I think, Canelo a hell of a fighter, but I think Bud just got all the tools to beat him.
You don't think the weight difference is gonna be too big of a advantage?
I think y'all make that something, you know, in certain fights,
Boxing makes it something, not us.
like if this was like a Benavidez, he's actually a lot bigger than Bud, so that would like apply. But I feel like with Canelo, he's like physically kind of big.
Canelo, for his part, has kept discipline. It will be one of the most important victories of my career. He claimed he did not call Crawford tiny or overmatched. He praised him as a tremendous boxer, but in the same breath, he told everyone that entering the ring with him is unique. It's not about your resume, it is about truth. We are pros, but when he walks into the ring, things will be different. Crawford reacted to that as well. I tell you that I will only be running within his thoughts. He has a big head, too. So, yeah, but Crawford is so good. Man, I do not know. I'm not sure who I'm going towards. Man, Crawford is extremely skilled, but Canelo's size, I'm not sure. Man, I can't choose it. Look at me, I truly can't pick it. I think I just got a lot of respect for both of them. I think that this fight is more than just about legacy, it's about identity. Canelo, the proud Mexican powerhouse, wants to show his dominance one last time before retirement talks become a reality. Crawford, the meticulous switch hitter from Omaha, wants to be known as the greatest of his time. One of them will lose, dare dream, the other will leave with history. Who do you think will walk away? Please share your views below and subscribe for